Racist officer stops black man, then finds out he's head of internal affairs. Before we dive into this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? So let's dive in. The officer didn't ask if everything was okay. He didn't say good evening. He just barked, "License and registration," through the open window, with one hand resting close to his holster and the other gripping a flashlight that flicked around the interior of the car like he was expecting to catch a criminal. It was just after dusk, on a quiet stretch of road outside Savannah, Georgia. Derek Lawson sat behind the wheel of his black BMW, still in his suit from work. A takeout bag on the passenger seat, and his hands already placed calmly at 10 and 2. He knew the drill, knew exactly where this was going the moment the patrol car pulled in behind him. He asked politely why he was being stopped. The officer responded coldly, accusing him of swerving, of possibly driving under the influence, and maybe, just maybe, the car wasn't even his. That last part wasn't spoken, but it was there. In the pause, in the way the officer's eyes lingered on the car, on the man driving it, and not on any actual violation. Derek denied swerving because he hadn't. But that didn't matter. The officer had already made up his mind. Within seconds, he ordered Derek out of the vehicle and onto the hood. No warning, no clear cause, just an assumption wrapped in authority. Derek complied, slowly, deliberately. He moved the way every black man in America learns to move during a traffic stop, with caution, restraint, and a silent prayer. As he placed his hands on the hood, he told the officer what was in his jacket: wallet, phone, and a badge. That last word made the officer pause, curious, maybe suspicious. He reached in and pulled it out himself, expecting a fake, a bluff, something to write up. But what he found made his face change instantly. It was real, a black leather case, gold trim, and a federal badge inside, State of Georgia, Office of Internal Affairs. Derek Lawson wasn't just anyone. He was the director, the man who investigated misconduct cases exactly like this one. The officer froze, realizing what he'd done. His posture changed. His mouth opened, but the words wouldn't come. Derek turned and looked him in the eyes, speaking with the calm of someone who had seen this far too many times before. The officer tried to backpedal, claiming it was just a routine check. Derek didn't buy it. He laid it out plainly: the escalation, the profiling, the illegal detainment. Then he asked the question that needed no answer. What would have happened if he wasn't carrying that badge? If he were just another black man heading home? People were starting to slow down around them. A few watched from nearby porches. Someone across the street had a phone up, recording silently. The body cam on the officer's chest blinked red. The entire narrative was shifting in real time. Derek didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He handed over a business card, the weight of it heavier than any threat, and said the officer would be hearing from him. Then he got back in his car and drove away without another word. 2 days later, the officer was placed on administrative leave. Body cam footage confirmed Derek's account in full. Internal review opened. And Derek, he didn't run to the media. He didn't need to. Instead, 3 weeks later, he spoke at a law enforcement summit in Atlanta, wearing the same suit, standing on a stage in front of officers, sheriffs, and officials from across the state. He told them everything, not just about that stop, but about how often stops like it happen. He didn't say the officer's name. It wasn't about him. It was about a culture, about assumptions made faster than facts, about how wearing a badge hadn't protected him from being profiled, but it had, this time, protected him from being hurt. He told the crowd he didn't pull rank that night because he wanted special treatment. He pulled it because he knew what happens to the people who don't have that privilege. He said that every stop like his, every interaction where dignity is stripped away before identity is confirmed, eats away at the public's trust. And the only way to rebuild that trust is with accountability. Not when someone has power, but especially when they think no one is watching. He held up his badge and told the truth, that before he had this title, before he had this authority, he had skin. And that's all the officer saw. The room was silent. Then it stood. Applause erupted, not out of politeness, but because the truth demands respect. And that day, Derek didn't just share a story. He reminded everyone in that room, and millions watching later online, what justice actually looks like when the tables turn. Because sometimes the man you profile on the roadside is the same man who signs the report that rewrites your career. And when that happens, the badge doesn't just shine, it bites. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.